5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are on air. Welcome to the stream, guys. Today with us we have Trashy, and we are on the topic of UK immigration. I forgot to change the stream title. Ooh.
What even is the stream title?
It's currently the last title of the last stream, but that was not the intention there.
Just what's your fucking Twitch name?
Dashboard. It's the turd. The debate group.
It's what?
The debate group. It should be up in either general or main debate info. Actually, it's in one of these chats. It's in restricted chat.
Gotta log in.
Well, say hello, Trashy.
Hello.
Today we will be doing UK immigration and South Africa. Creator Studio.
Curtis, just send me the fucking your Twitch name.
Not Twitch. It's YouTube's.
Oh, it's YouTube's. Send me your YouTube channel's name.
Wait, let's see if the streams actually work. Yes, it is. Okay. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties.
Can I find you on my own stream?
Not right now, but they'll see it in the video recording, so that's the big goofs about it. UK, and I guess we'll cover Brexit in here too, to an extent.
I found it.
UK immigration and South Africa. Alright, now we'll officially begin the stream. What is your opinion on the topics at hand?
Alright,
starting with
just
UK.
In general, it's a whole shit situation, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Would everyone already do that?
Well, from my personal opinion, the entire issue with the UK immigration is, well, like we've seen from most statistics, at one point, I don't know if it still is, the murder rate in London got to a point where it was enough to overcome even New York, which New York is known for murders, obviously. New York's definitely not the safest place in the world.
Trying to find it.
Also, the big thing in the UK now is acid attacks, which are known to be a highly Pakistani, Bangladeshi, and like things that happen in like India and Africa, like the Indian areas in Africa.
And with them all coming over to the UK, it's becoming a thing more in the UK now.
Far more common than it should be.
Yes.
And acid attacks, I think the entire Western world can agree that that's pretty barbaric.
Yeah. And you don't even have a guaranteed kill with acid attacks. You could just leave someone scarred for the rest of their life.
Yeah, that's the issue with it. That's why it's considered worse than like getting stabbed to death.
Yeah, I think there was this one story. I don't remember. This man was attacked with acid, and like his face was all fucked up and everything, and he had to be hooked up to a bunch of stuff and medical equipment, and
life support.
Just
yeah. The main thing for me is that, like, just in general, a bullet wound will usually kill you, or leave you with like a little scar.
But acid
will deform your face. It'll leave you just
massive amounts of scars.
Pain. A lot of pain. It's far more painful than getting a bullet wound. And just in general, there's this entire immigration issue has led to the UK basically becoming a one-party state, with the decline of the Conservative Tories due to the fact that they if the white population falls below, like, I think it was 70%, then generally they don't win elections.
Yeah, and then it all goes to the Labour Party.
Yeah, and like most immigrants, except for like Sikhs and like like Hindus, will like usually vote in favor of the Labour. While the Sikhs and Hindus will usually vote for the Conservatives, but generally they're
the
not.
Exodus.
Generally, they're not the people that want to immigrant in, because they have their own country for that.
Yeah.
And
with the exodus of white people, like majority in London, but there's still some around the country. It's just going to become a one-party system within a couple of election cycles.
Also, is it just me, or did the UK, or did the Conservative Party screw up? This Conservative Party, I don't know how they did this. They screwed up so bad by electing or allowing Theresa May to become the Prime Minister, just due to the fact she's not even pro-Brexit. She wanted to stay in the EU. So not only has it created a split in the Conservative Party, it's ruined Brexit, which was something voted in by the people. Now they're basically in the EU, but don't get any of the benefits.
I mean, they were probably gonna go down one way or another.
I think UKIP is the new British Conservative Party at this point. I don't think with this factionalism, most of the people that were pro Brexit are either going to become UKIP members or vote for UKIP.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, we've seen a staunch rise in the UKIP with creators such as Sargon of Akkad and several others, including Milo Yiannopoulos, which is a extremely like controversial conservative figure. Which, I mean, I like him. He's okay. I mean, he's nothing like. A lot of good people would consider him controversial, but I think he's just a little odd. But we've all seen them. We've seen all of them join UKIP now. So, and mind you, with the amount of followers and influence that they have, Sargon is considered center, like traditional left.
Yeah.
Milo's considered like national, like conservative, right? Like neoconservative. I mean, the man calls Trump his daddy. He literally says "Daddy Trump," which I know he's British and all, but I mean, it's still goofy.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, but you have people from like every center and further right, like everybody's joining either UKIP or the EDL. The EDL being the English Defence League, which is basically a fascist and right-wing party.
Okay. Yeah, I'm an ignorant American. I don't know anything about English politics.
Yeah, UKIP saw a nice rise in polls by Brexit, and now they're expected to see it even. They shot up 10,000 members in like a week after Sargon of Akkad and Milo joined. It was. Oh, and also the Count Dankula, that Scottish guy. He's the one who started this entire thing. He joined
the story
UKIP.
Behind him, I don't really remember.
He's a Scottish guy, and he was arrested for for making his dog do a Nazi salute as a meme.
Arresting people for memes. God, I mean, I knew they were going down when they started banning knives, like, and shit. But fucking arresting people,
Well,
like, instead of focusing on stopping the acid attacks and all the new murder
and gang rape.
and gang rape. But instead of focusing the police force on stopping those, they're focusing the police force on hunting down and
quote unquote
tracking memers.
stopping quote unquote hate speech, and it's just like what? No, to just no.
Yeah.
No.
Capital cities has murder rates skyrocketing. Is tracking down people who make memes. Fucking hell.
Memes and who speak out against the government because supposed hate speech. And I think the Tory party has failed by electing Theresa May, which is by far the softest leader that's ever been elected into any office. Yeah. She may be a conservative, but at the same time, she's in no way a British person. She does not have the English or English or even Scottish attitude when it comes to dealing with problems. You know what? Our people voted for Brexit. You know what I'm gonna do? Ruin it. Let's go. God, she's such like a classic politician. It's like she is the
appeasement.
She is the politician. Like there's no way around that. Like when you think of politics, who do you think of? Like Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Like you should be thinking of Theresa May. I mean, Hillary Clinton's the same way too. But I mean, one claims to be right wing and one claims to be conservative. But
just all appeasement.
Yeah, appease the German monster. That's what's been going on this entire time. I mean, I'm fine with it because all hail Germany at this point. I mean,
it's fucking Neville Chamberlain all over again.
No, we shouldn't be appeasing Germany's needs. It should be pro. Well, you know why not Bavarian Freedom Party? Let's go. Freedom to Bavaria.
Saint Merkel of the migrant.
We should free Bavaria. Hashtag free Bavaria.
Free Prussia.
Free Prussia. Oh God.
Dismantle Germany back down into
a bunch of city-states.
Yeah. Free Bavaria and Prussia and dismantle the rest of it and the city-states. Why not?
Or just divided into the current states. The Bundesbag or whatever it is.
I like how we've gone from talking about how murder rates are skyrocketing in the UK to talking about dividing up the UK.
No, Germany.
Not the UK, Germany.
Well, Germany's the big bad monster. Oh no. If we leave the EU, Germany's gonna stop trading with us. Oh no.
I'm pretty sure everyone's heard about this by now, but Poland, Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and I think there was not Czechoslovakia. That doesn't exist anymore. I'm stupid.
Well, technically the Czechs and the Slovaks, sure. Czech Republic and the Slovaks.
Yeah, both of them. And I think maybe Austria? I don't know.
Yeah, it was Austria.
They refused to accept immigrants, and Germany's...
Austria and Slovakia eventually, I think, gave in. Austria gave in a little less than Slovakia did. You know what's funny? You know what the Czechs did? They were like, okay, you want us to get several hundred immigrants in? We'll bring in 3 guys. One. There you go. Appeasement right there.
I mean, if they were gonna bring in any of them, just Just like the fucking
It's
extreme background checks.
it's kind of what they did with Germany in World War II. It's like, you want our entire country? Yeah, here's the Sudetenland, but now it's instead it's, you want us to bring in a bunch of immigrants? I'll take in 3.
But yeah, they're threatening them with sanctions.
Oh
So,
no! That wasn't the word they used. It was economic, or is this like something like? I forget what it was. It was something goofy. It was like heart, or it was like economic. I don't know. This is something I remember. That kind of list quoted it. EU. No, EU.
I'm looking at it right now.
EU threatens Poland. No, but the official quote was like economic something. It was something goofy. I remember it sounded like the world's most retarded thing ever. Oof. No, but to
I just looked at this and like EU's threatening Poland with everything. There was this one. It's old. It was like November 21st, 2017. EU threatens Poland with fine over logging.
I think it was economic punishments, and it was like it just sounded so goofy coming from like an EU parliamentary mouth. It was like, boy, get out of here. I think I'll take some economic punishments for the freedom or future of my country. Thanks.
Yeah, like EU threatens Poland with Article 7 loss of voting rights. EU threatens to impose sanctions on Poland over judicial reform.
Eventually, they got to the point where the EU was at that point just going like, "Hey, if you don't do this, you're going to be kicked out of the EU," and Poland was kind of just like,
"Okay."
So then they went, "Nope, it's economic sanctions now."
Oh yeah, you know that march for people who actually like their country in Poland that's now being called fascist?
Yeah.
They were threatening more sanctions over that. They're also threatening. Okay, here's the one. EU's Poland crisis. Brussels threatened to suspend rights if Warsaw doesn't obey values.
Values, oh god. So that's the single most totalitarian thing you could say.
That's what it put.
If you don't follow my value system, you're gonna be...
But yeah, the march was just for people who love their country in Poland. It was like, nah, that's fascist. But there's a difference between nationalism and fascism.
Oh, there's a huge difference. You can be nationalistic. Yeah. You can be nationalistic and be communist at the same time. That's what this.
You can be nationalistic and be anything else. You can nationalist, but everyone just, as soon as you say national, they're like, oh, Nazis, fascism, blah blah blah, and they automatically jump to shit like that.
Oof. Oh, I mean, there are plenty of. Okay, but quickly because I think we've done 15 minutes already. I'm gonna see if we can scoodily my noodly over to South Africa. Well, the big issue with South Africa is they want to do land reforms, which if you don't know what that means, it's quite the normal communist thing. It's you take land from a certain minority to give it to the majority, or the other way around. Whoa.
So how would it be going this way?
They'd be taking land from the white people, and they want to give it back to the indigenous people. Well, you see, the thing is there's a difference between subsistence farming, which is you farm for your family,
and
commercial farming.
which is you farm for money.
Yeah, you farm not only farm for money, but you feed you feed a nation. Now, if we go one nation up north to Zimbabwe, where they're literally begging white farmers to come back on 99-year leases.
And if this
After Robert Mugabe kind of kicked them out, and then they went into a famine, and then Zimbabwe went into this state of high famine.
Yeah, but they're trying to get rid of white farmers who have been farming the land
for like 7, 9, 8, 9 generations sometimes,
and know how to do it without causing it, and giving it to unexperienced farmers who could possibly ruin the lands and drive South Africa into a famine.
Well, I mean, Cape Town ran out of water for a short period of time because the government never actually allowed them. They never actually tried to fix the problem, which was predicted 90 days ahead of time, which is plenty of time to, I don't know, at least bring in water bottles.
Yeah,
or
ship in some water bottles from fucking from fucking Brazil or something. I don't know.
Or better yet, they could, I don't know, stop being so corrupt.
It's gonna be hard for them to do that.
Yeah, and Nelson Mandela's Rainbow Nation has gone down the toilet already. I mean, if anything, they're more racist than they were before. I mean, I get it. I get apartheid's bad, but the whites kind of built the nation that now they're running from and are impoverished in. I mean, they still have an extreme influence on politics there. It's like a lot of them do. Because some of them are still richer than most.
And I mean, it'll take a long time for them to become actually equal, but this is not the way to do it. It is.
Well, the three top parties in South Africa are all for taking away land with no compensation.
Hang on a second. Okay. But yeah. You can get your equality, but this is not the way to do it. You don't take away other people's land and leaving them high and dry while their family has been farming that land for 7, 8, 9 generations.
Also, there's a big issue where Native Africans will run into white farms, murder the people that live, or murder people that live there, rape the woman, and then just leave. And
are these fucking tribesmen or some shit?
No, a lot of them are former military men from Zimbabwe.
That's what fucking tribesmen would do. We don't live in the fucking tribal era or medieval era.
Yeah. Well,
people shouldn't be running
when Robert Mugabe, I think he was ousted, or I don't know if he died or he's out. I'm pretty sure he's ousted. But in a shocking turn of events, a lot of the military that used to commit atrocities against the white people there decided, hey, let's flee to South Africa. So a lot of the new farm attacks have been using signal jammers, so that people can't, the farmers can't call out for police help, even the police aren't that useful there anyway.
That just sounds fucking.
But you can't
idiotic.
call for help. You can't call for fellow you can't even call your neighbors. They jam the signals of the farm, and then they go in and they murder the men, or burn down the farm, or just break in and injure people, or damage things. But also with the rise of this supposed black nationalism in South Africa, there's also been a group of Boers, and Boers being the Afrikaans people, that have also just stood up and said, you know what, we're forming a group called the Sidelanders, or Sightlanders. I'm sorry, SIT, I think. And they arm themselves with a lot of guns, and they do a yearly escape drill to escape from South Africa.
just in case shit hits the fan.
Oh yeah, and the main like press guy for the Sightlanders says he's prepared to fight a civil war. He said that the entire Sightlanders group knows there's going to be a civil war within the next 5 years, and that documentary was recorded a year ago.
Wait.
So they all have guns. There's like
Wait, what's it called? How's it spelled?
Sightlander. They all have guns. They're all like, some of them
How
have.
do you spell it? I'm trying to look this up so I can get more info
Uh,
on it.
I think it's Sigtlanders. It's SUID Landers. It's Sightlanders, but it's in Afrikaans, so, which is like Dutch, half English. There, I put it in general. Apparently, their logo is just a raindrop.
Right wing, South African. Okay, yeah. Survivalist group. Okay.
Yeah, so basically, if
They're planning for if
if
Civil War happens to bug out.
To either bug out or fight. I mean, obviously they can't fight the full South African military due to the fact that, well, there's quite a bit more Africans there than there are Afrikaans, which Afrikaans are the Sightlander people, the general white people. Well, of course, there's also British white people, but I mean, the Afrikaans make up the majority of them. I think at one point they made up a good 13% of the population, and British and like during the apartheid times made up like 3%. British South Africans.
Yeah. So basically,
it's like 16% of the population is white, and they used to rule the entire country.
wow.
Up until like the 90s, so in the 90s there was a giant white exodus from South Africa.
I wonder why.
All the richest ones, most of them fled to New Zealand.
Why New Zealand of all places?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, they have the closest in like culture in general. But I mean, some fled to Australia, some fled to Brazil, some fled to South Africa, some fled to the Netherlands.
Some South Africans fled to South Africa.
Oh no, they fled to South America. But Canada, the few of them asked for entry into Canada, and Canada refused them because Canada said that they were being racist.
They're being racist.
You know, they're running from their possible deaths, and you know what? They're racist.
They're racist. I don't care if they're racist. They're still people.
They're not.
They're still human beings. They may be assholes, but they're still humans.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, most of the Afrikaans people that are still alive today, at least were born in the apartheid state, like half of them. Because it only ended in 1991.
I think 1991, 1990.
Nelson Mandela. But when Nelson Mandela died, it was like the end of the equality, end of, equal for everybody. And then came socialism. I mean, Mandela was obviously socialist already, but
what timing? What timing? I just got an email.
A far left, like just it went even further left when he died.
I just checked my spam to clear it out, and I just saw the first thing was an email from someone claiming to be Nelson Mandela's wife, and it's like, my husband is second wife. She's like, my husband is in a bad state. He is very ill, and fucking please write down your credit card information so I can transfer money over to. It's just typical spam stuff, but it was just the best timing.
Yes. No, but the entire idea behind the Rainbow State is just over. It's just dead. And you see the news stops reporting on it when it actually goes bad, which is my funny thing on it. What? Socialism doesn't work?
Oh
no. Let's not report on that.
So, are we going to wrap this up, or?
I mean, I don't know how long the stream's been going on.
Actually, it's been going for 30 minutes, so I think we can stretch it out a little bit longer. But there's not really much to talk about anymore. Well, there is, but I don't know a lot about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do think the Sidelanders' minds are in the right place when it comes to protecting themselves. But I mean, I fully stand behind anyone's right to protect themselves using any means necessary. And also, official statement from one of the South African leader of the ANL, which is the main party in South Africa, the African National, or no, ANC, and African National Congress.
Yeah.
Which is the party that Mandela founded. Their official statement from one of their leaders was, if it's illegal to take their land, then we will reform the laws to where we can take it violently, if we need to. Take it by force if we need to.
So, communist South Africa, civil war is probably going to happen there.
I wouldn't call them the extent of communism. It's just not good. It's more like black nationalism gone wrong. And also, another statement that I've noticed, which was made by an African politician, or like a former African politician, is there's been no states run by African African peoples that have officially worked in the modern day. Which I don't know if there's a reason for that. But technically, the only states that have even getting close to working in Africa, which is mostly just Egypt, is technically an Arabic nation. And if you didn't know that, right?
I knew that. Yeah.
I mean, but they've gone through how many civil wars in the past? It took 20 years, 3 or 4. Egypt. Gone through several coups.
Neo-colonialism.
But what if they didn't colonize in the first place, Trashy? Well, it still would have been this bad, is the thoughts of it.
But this is just...
If anything, it probably would have been worse because they wouldn't have gotten developed in the first place. They'd still be fighting each other with sticks. And with pointed rocks.
At least then there would be less death.
Honestly, there probably wouldn't be.
Not true. Because there would have been less blah blah blah.
They would have had.
Africa's a shit show right now.
Yeah.
Civil wars are going on out the ass there.
And I love when socialists in Belgium are like, we should take responsibility for our ancestors that things are no, I'm sorry, the Belgian government should take responsibility for things that happened hundreds of years ago in the Congo, and I'm like, just let it go at this point. I mean, yes, it was an atrocity, but do we care anymore? No, are the people that are still alive responsible for what happened in the 1890s? I don't think so.
Nah.
I mean, I know there are minor things that happened later, but I mean, the government's not responsible. The people that are alive now.
Even if they hadn't fucking colonized, it still would have been a shit show.
Yeah, it's just we wouldn't care as much about it. And also they wouldn't be able to understand each other either, because most languages spoken in between groups. So if they need to negotiate, most of the languages that are spoken are English and French and things like that. Are European languages.
But yeah,
So I mean, would you rather have them having to learn each other's languages or just learn a common language?
learn a common language.
Yeah.
Because who knows, fucking saying one thing in one language could be a major insult in another. Boom. Fucking someone's insulted. Someone shoots someone. War. Okay, that's probably not how it would have gone, but you know what I mean.
You call my family the big gay, I kill you, okay? Your family is the big gay. No, your family. No, you. The big wolf.
Yeah. Now this is a short one.
Short what?
Stream. Well, no, it's longer than the EU bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy. I got
Yeah.
it at the end.
Yes, the English. The English is your first language.
I speak English. But yeah, there's not really that much to talk about anymore. I mean, UK's becoming one party. Gonna become one party soon. The whites are moving out of England. Mostly London. And, Europe in general is a shit show. Except for Poland. I like Poland. Good job, Poland.
And Hungary.
And Hungary.
Although Hungary has the big fascism.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the main party that is the prime minister's part of is nationalistic, but they definitely have a big fascist party there. It's the land of fairy tale castles and fascism.
But yeah, there's not really that much to talk about. The EU is shit. The UK is shit. Africa is shit. What's new?
Wow.
It's just getting shitter.
See, yes, cause shitters. A word. That's the big oof.
Even if you weren't already not making money on this channel, which you aren't because you only have 7 subscribers, I would get this video demonetized for my foul language.
Holy Jesus, you don't have to rape everybody.
Yeah.
I think we could end on 140. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Or 33 technically, I think right now. 37. Alright, bye everybody.